Hey everyone. So, welcome back to Public Speaking. A lot of you have been asking questions about the introduction speech. So, I wanted to kind of create a little introduction speech to give you guys an idea of what I'm looking for. But before I show you that, let's talk about it. This isn't anything complicated. Don't really worry about what the instructions say. Just pretty much base your speech on what I'm going to tell you in this video. First, this can be as broad of a speech or as narrow of a speech. So, what I mean when I say it can be broad, you could literally create a speech that's kind of an overview of your entire life if you wanted to. Or you could do what I'm going to show you, which is narrow it down to just one little thing. I'm going to talk about my son, but yours could be anything. Maybe you had a vacation probably before the pandemic, but some really great vacation and you want to talk about that. Maybe you're a foodie and you really love food. I get lots of you guys. And you want to talk about your favorite food or your favorite type of food. Maybe you love Italian food. So that's kind of what you want to talk about. Again, it can be as broad or as narrow as you guys want to make it. What I need you to do is pick out 4 to 6 pictures. Now, these pictures need to be either pictures that you personally took, pictures that have you in them, or pictures that really mean something to you personally. For example, maybe you wanted to talk about your grandparents. So you want to use a picture of your grandparents from their wedding. Well, obviously, this is your grandparents. You're not going to be in the picture. You couldn't have taken the picture. What you cannot use, however, are pictures that you get off the internet. So, for example, if you love spaghetti and meatballs, but you don't have a spaghetti and meatballs picture, you can't go out to Google and get a picture of spaghetti and meatballs. So, again, it needs to either be a picture you personally took, a picture with you in it, or a picture that really means something to you. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. I would ask, does anyone have any questions? But obviously you can't ask me questions right now. If it doesn't make sense and you do have questions, please make sure you email me. So from here, we're going to talk just a little bit about different ways that you can record your speech. So the way I'm recording these for you guys is through Zoom. This I have found is really the easiest way. You just open up a Zoom meeting, click the little record button, and there you go. The great thing about using Zoom is we can do a screen share, which I'm going to do in just a minute with you guys, but it also will upload it to your computer for you, so you don't have to do anything other than make sure you can find it. For me, I tend to lose stuff on my computer all the time, so I don't close it once it uploads. I make sure that everything is ready to go straight to my YouTube channel. But again, you guys can do it any way you want. You can also, yes, there's Molly again. You can also have somebody record you and upload it that way. You can use YouTube directly to record. I don't really know how to do that, so I can't explain it to you. The big thing with all of our upcoming speeches is you do have to have a visual aid. So however you record your speech, you're going to have some way of showing your visual aid. Whether that is what I'm about to show you guys using Zoom, or you have somebody record you and maybe you have a TV monitor behind you showing your PowerPoint, your visual aid. However, you can do it, but you do have to have visual aids for all of our speeches. And we're going to have an entire little lecture at some point before your informative speech, talking more about visual aids and the importance of them and how to use visual aids. But so now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of move back into our introduction speech. So again, this is going to be 4 to 6 pictures. It's not a super long speech, guys. Nothing crazy, nothing like that. We're literally talking a minute and a half, 2 minutes, no more than 4 or 5 minutes. There's not some big time limit or anything on this speech. This is just to kind of help everyone get to know each other a little bit better and get you guys used to talking in front of the camera, because I know this can be a little bit different than giving a speech in front of a bunch of people. Me personally, I think it's a little bit weird sitting here because, of course, I'm looking at my computer screen, so I'm literally seeing myself, which is a little bit strange. So trust me, I get it. Some of you may think it's not strange at all, and hey, that's great. Me, yeah, I think it's a little weird. Okay, so let's kind of move into how I want your speeches to go. If you are using Zoom, like I am, you're going to basically start your speech out somewhat like I have it right now. I want you to be full screen. I don't want you to start out with a share screen where you're just going to be a little box up in the corner, or you're not even there, period, because that is an option also. So I'm going to want you to start your speech out like this, where you are full screen. So this would kind of be your introduction for your speech. Now, for the one that we're getting ready to do, obviously you're not going to have quite as much of an introduction as what I do. Obviously, Molly likes to be on camera. I will say for your two big speeches, don't let your kitten or puppy or baby be in the picture with you. For this one, I don't care. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. Once you get through your introduction, you can go ahead and move on to your share screen. So basically, you're going to come down to the bottom. Again, this is if you're using Zoom. You're going to come down to the bottom of the picture underneath you, and there's a whole little row of things down there that you'll be able to see. One of them says share screen. So you will click on your share screen, and that is going to open up another window for you. In that window, you are going to see things that say screen, whiteboard, various things. You'll also see, if you have a PowerPoint open like I do, there is one that says PowerPoint. I do not want you to use the PowerPoint one, because then you go away and it's just your PowerPoint. So you're going to want to click on the one that says screen. And then you're going to want to click share. So at this point, it's brought you up to whatever is on your screen. So what you guys should be seeing right now is a little box of me. Then you're also going to see on my screen right now, it's showing all of the Zoom stuff. So just make sure you have that minimized. So now you see the entire PowerPoint thing. So we're going to go ahead and start our PowerPoint from the beginning, just like you would with anything else. Now at this point, this is where we're going to kind of talk about the actual speech itself that I'm looking for from you guys. So I don't want you just to go through each slide and say, this is a picture of me and my son when he was really little. He had curly hair and a firefighter t-shirt. And then you move to the next one and you do the same thing. I want you to kind of tell us a story, and you're showing the pictures as the story progresses. So we're going to kind of move into what I'm looking for. This is going to tell you guys a little bit more about me and about my son. So I had my son. I wasn't super young, but I was a teenager when I had him. I had graduated from high school, but I hadn't been out of high school very long when I had him. In this picture, he is probably about 18 months to 2 years old. This picture was taken at my mom and dad's house, which is where we were living at the time. So needless to say, having my son at a young age, it totally changed my life. It pretty much changed everything, but honestly, it really was for the best. I couldn't imagine my life without my son. So here's another picture of him with his little puppy pajamas and his little cowboy hat. And hey, for some of you, you may have never seen a phone like this. This is pre-cell phones. There were cordless phones at this point, but there weren't really a whole lot of them, and my son thought phones were great. There was actually a time that when you talked on a phone, you were connected to a wall. So I did kind of skip a lot of years in my son's life, but, you know, obviously, I don't want this speech to drag on forever. This was at my son's JROTC senior reception. So he got his little award, his little backpack. He was in JROTC all through high school. And then his junior and senior year, I was actually the president of JROTC. For as long as I can remember, there's pretty much only been two things that my son has ever wanted to do in life. One is to be a soldier, and 2 is to be a cop. Since a lot of you are military, obviously you can look at this picture and tell that one of his dreams has come true. So my son is in the Tennessee Army National Guard. This picture, it was kind of crazy how this picture was taken. I was in a Fort Benning group for parents and whoever, family of soldiers that were in basic training at Fort Benning. Some lady just so happened to be there for a family weekend and saw a group of soldiers marching and doing whatever and took a bunch of pictures and then posted them. And lo and behold, there is a picture of my son. Well, there were more than one. But so here is a picture of my son when he was actually in training at Fort Benning. He was at Sand Hill. He was Delta 248. He absolutely loves Fort Benning and does kind of make fun of people who went to other places for basic. I believe they refer to Fort Jackson as Relaxin' Jackson. I don't know. I never went to basic, but hey, this is what he says. So this is also down in Columbus, Georgia at Fort Benning. This was at the campground. This was right before he graduated from basic training. So he graduated in January of 2018. So we all went down and stayed in a cabin. If you've never been to Fort Benning, they do have a really great campground with lots of cabins and all kinds of stuff. It is pretty cool. Columbus, I don't know, Columbus, Georgia was an interesting town, but Fort Benning really wasn't that bad. But so this was there out on the little deck. You can tell how happy he is. I'm sure that has a lot to do with the fact that he was getting ready to graduate. And yeah. So that takes us to this picture. This is where my life is super weird and crazy right now. This is a picture of Zach and his fiance, Abby. So Abby is originally from Pennsylvania, which is a little interesting and odd for us, having a Yankee join in the family. Thankfully, she doesn't have a weird Yankee accent. We have weird Southern accents, I'm sure, but she doesn't have a weird Yankee accent. She's actually a third grade teacher at Minglewood Elementary here in Clarksville. So that's one of our local elementary schools. It's actually out towards Fort Campbell area. They are getting married October 8th of this year. So again, it's a little strange going from my tiny little baby to a grown man who's now not only a soldier, but getting married. I told you guys in the beginning that Zach had the 2 dreams. One was to be a soldier and the other is to be a police officer. So he has made the soldier dream come true, and he is currently working on making the police officer dream come true. Anyway, that's a little bit about my son, my life. He has kind of shaped everything. I was a single mom from the day I had him until now. So I've always been a single mom. Don't know what it's like to share responsibilities with anyone. Honestly, I don't think I could have, but who knows? Maybe things might have been different if I had been married, but I wasn't. So yeah, that is my son and I, and that is his beautiful fiance. All right, guys. So at this point, you'll notice at the top, there's a thing that says stop share. So make sure you click stop share, and that's going to bring it back to just the normal little box. You're still recording. Everything is still good. Once you get done, then you will move back down to the bottom and you will see the stop or pause recording. So just make sure that you do stop your recording. Once you've stopped it, you'll have the ability to be able to upload the video. And from that point, you will put your video on YouTube. Just so that this video doesn't get way too long, I'm going to go ahead and stop it with this. But I do want to make sure you guys know to look frequently, because I am going to post some more videos. So there's going to be another video that talks about each one of the speeches and kind of tells you what the requirements for your speeches are. I'll also go over a few of the PowerPoints that we have on D2L to kind of give you guys just a little bit more information so that you're not stuck just having to look at the videos. If you guys have any problems, any questions, please make sure that you email me. If you don't email me, I don't know, and I can't work out your problems or help you figure out how to fix anything. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Like I said, it is a little weird even for me talking to, for all practical purposes, myself. So if you have a hard time recording your video, trust me, I get it. I lied. I'm not going to end it quite yet. There are a couple of other things I want to point out with this. So first and foremost, please make sure that you've actually watched your video and listened to it. I use the headset because I want to make sure that you can hear me really well. So that's why I do it. You do not have to use a headset. But if you are not, please make sure that you've actually watched and listened to your videos, because there's nothing worse than having a student make a video, post it to YouTube, and then I go to watch it and I can't hear them. That's not good. So make sure that you do watch your videos. Make sure you can hear them. Make sure that if you are using something other than Zoom, say you're using your cell phone, make sure that when you watch your video, make sure it's not sideways. There's nothing, well, there are worse things, but it does kind of suck to watch a video and the whole thing is sideways. That doesn't make for a very great video. And please keep in mind, while it is weird making the videos, you do have an advantage over your on-ground counterparts in that they only get one shot at their speech in person. You guys can re-record your speeches. So if you watch one of your speeches and you're not happy with it and you don't like it, you have the ability to record it again. It really is up to you. That also kind of goes with the time factor. For the introduction video, I'm not going to be a stickler on time. As long as your video is not like 30 seconds, you're okay. For your informative and your persuasive speeches, you do have time limits, and I really do expect that you fall within those time frames. Because again, you can redo your videos. If you do your first video and you're 30 seconds short on time, go back and redo it, because you will lose points for being under time. The same goes for overtime. So again, you have an advantage in that you can redo your videos as many times as you want. But again, please, please, please watch your videos. Make sure that you can be heard. Make sure that everything is good that way, because you don't want to turn in something and then I can't hear it. Now we really will go ahead and end this video, because again, I don't want it to get super insanely long for you guys. But if you have any questions, if you're still a little bit confused, make sure you let me know. Remember, this video will be uploaded in the discussion board. There is a discussion board specifically for this. So make sure that you upload it into the discussion board. And then also, I believe that there should be an assignment box for your introduction visual aid. So there, just go ahead and pop your little PowerPoint into that upload section or into the assignment box. Remember, if you don't know how to use D2L, in the content section in the YouTube folder where this video will be located, you will also have 2 D2L tutorials that are posted in there. The first one goes really in depth into how to use D2L. The second one, some of you really should go ahead and watch that one, because it shows you how to fix the discussion board so that when you comment on your classmates, it's not posting their original post as well, which just kind of makes things a little bit easier. Sorry, my cat, she's still being a little crazy. She's a kitten. I'm sure y'all will get used to her. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. If you have any questions or you're worried about anything, make sure you email me and we will talk about it. I will talk at you, to you, however you want to look at that later on. Have a great day.